There are few weather phenomena more terrifying than a tornado. They are an unstoppable and unforgiving force of nature, and one that has led to millions, if not billions, of dollars in damages. Now, while dangerous, they are also truly a sight to behold. The United States is one of the countries most known for tornadoes. However, not even the residents of Portage Township, Indiana, expected to encounter one so close to them. Back on June 23, 2019, a man named Tommy Vison had just pulled up to his local bar when he noticed the weather begin to get more severe. Not long after arriving, he noticed something unusual off in the distance. It wasn't long before he realized that what he was seeing was the beginnings of a tornado that was rapidly taking shape right above a local pharmacy. Within only 30 seconds, the tornado went from non-existent to a destructive beast that tore down power lines and damaged some buildings. Luckily, nobody was injured.
No fucking way. Get in, get in. It's coming this way. Holy shit. It's fucking nuts.
According to local news reports, the authorities had to carry out a cleanup operation as a result of the damage caused, including the destruction of a learning center and, as previously mentioned, many downed power lines, leaving neighbors in the area cut off from communication. While no injuries were reported, that doesn't take away from the terror that those present must have felt. By the end of the video, the tornado had already dispersed, but not before leaving a trail of destruction. For whatever reason, the areas that are most commonly hit by tornadoes are not large cities, but rather they are the small towns and communities that lie in the more rural areas of Tornado Alley, an area of the United States that is most known for tornadic activity. Back in 2014, the small town of Pilger, Nebraska was hit with one such storm, and it was all captured in stunning clarity by a group of professional storm chasers known as the Tornado Hunters. In the early morning hours of June 16, 2014, thunderstorms began to develop over the state, and by afternoon had made its way towards Pilger. Soon, the first of 5 total tornadoes formed, and this is where the video begins.
Do you hear it? Get past these mountains. Get past these mountains. Past the hill mountains. That's not good. No. It's not good.
As the day went on, more tornadoes formed and tore through the rural countryside. Of the 5 tornadoes that spawned, 4 ended up ranking as EF4s, the second highest rating possible, with winds in excess of 165 miles per hour. The events of June 16, 2014 became one for the record books, with its own Wikipedia page created to detail what occurred. In total, 2 people tragically lost their lives this day, and millions of dollars in damage were reported. To see a tornado off in the distance can be a terrifying sight. as the destructive power they possess is well documented. For these people in the southern Chinese city of Shenzhen, this fear became a reality when a powerful tornado developed right over a heavily populated area. It all started on May 14, 2014. According to the video, it begins with a group of people seeking shelter in a building as the tornado forms off in the distance. Within a matter of seconds, the tornado begins to tear across the landscape, knocking out power and sending debris flying high into the air. To make matters worse, residents were unable to make phone calls for help, leaving them at the mercy of the storm. Following this event, residents claimed the town looked like a scene out of a disaster movie, with trees, poles, and debris scattered across the streets. And the footage provided clearly backs up their claims. Emergency crews were quick to respond and rescued 14 people who were trapped. In total, 24 fire trucks and more than 150 personnel were sent to assist in the recovery efforts. Mother Nature is a terrifying beast, and one that cannot be stopped. Should a tornado warning be sent for your area, it's best to seek shelter or evacuate as soon as you can, because the alternative could mean risking your life. Between June 16th and June 18th, 2014, an outbreak of tornadoes affected the Great Plains in the Midwestern United States. One of these tornadoes was the one we covered earlier in this video in the small town of Pilger, Nebraska. During this outbreak, many notable tornadoes formed, including this incredible twin tornado, which tore through the countryside. The angle from which this video was shot gives you a great and unobstructed view of the two tornadoes as they spun violently and traveled across the landscape. What is more frightening about this is that this is not the first time Nebraska has faced a multiple tornado. In fact, in 1913, the state faced one of the worst weather events in its history, known as the Omaha tornado, which caused some 241 deaths, making it one of the deadliest weather events in history. Encountering a tornado on the road is quite unusual. In fact, most people don't even have to worry about encountering one in their lifetimes. Unless, of course, you live in Texas, where it is estimated that this phenomenon can occur up to 132 times a year. On May 5, 2019, An incredible tornado was captured along the highway near the city of Tahoka by a group known as MB Storm Chasers. The video isn't as clear as others on our list, but the scale of the tornado is still fully visible. The video begins with the tornado forming off in the distance. Within a matter of minutes, it grows to a massive size before eventually crossing the road right in front of the man filming.
Look at that thing spin. Oh man. We gotta dive down away from this thing.
Which way? That's fine. Okay. 60 things.
Oh, this thing is insane. Here, let me see that stream.
Tornado warning just issued.
Good.
Yeah, thank you.
Good. Look at this thing, guys. It is right in front of us. Oh my God. Wow. Across the road right in front of us.
Thankfully for those filming, the tornado occurred in a rather rural area, and they were able to track it without injury. In total, 2 tornadoes were confirmed that day, with the strongest being ranked as only an EF2. Still, this is plenty strong enough to damage structures, which unfortunately did occur. Due to how rural the area is, there were thankfully no injuries reported. Tornadoes are a terrifying force of nature, making seeing them all the more interesting. But that should not take away from the fact that they are unstoppable beasts that have upended lives and caused hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars in damage. In the event a tornado is likely to impact where you live, please do all you can to take shelter or get out of harm's way. That said, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more just like it, be sure to click the link on screen now. And with that, thank you for watching, and be sure to tune in next time.